Welcome to the introduction to the reporting engine of Foreman. In this video we'll look at how to render reports out of existing report templates, what templates are available in the default installation, how to automate report rendering, and at the end we'll briefly look at how to write your own report templates. So first of all, let's start with navigating to monitor report templates. The report template is basically a prescription of how to render the final report. It is based on the template engine that we use in provisioning and remote execution. These templates are typically not rendered for a single host, but rather a collection of Foreman objects. It doesn't have to be only hosts, but as you can see here, you can render a report of or for all the registered users or all the subscriptions that you have imported in your system, or you can generate the whole inventory containing all the objects from your Foreman database. The list here includes the reports that are shipped with Foreman and plugins. Some report templates are added from plugins, so don't worry if your installation without plugins has less reports. So let's take a look at how the rendering actually looks. Let's say I want to render a report of all the applicable erratas for systems I have in my inventory. So I pick this host applicable errata report, click the generate button, which takes me to the form where I can customize some of the rendering attributes, such as when I want this report to be actually rendered. You can pick whatever date and time. If you keep it blank, it basically means generate the report right away. You can also send the report result to your email address, or more of them, more email addresses here. You can choose the format of the report. The first three formats here are usually good for some machine processing. But we also have the HTML option in here, which I'm going to use to easily represent the output. Each report can define additional fields based on its capabilities. So here I could even specify the filter of host I'm interested in, or even errata filter. I want to see erratas for all hosts and all erratas that are applicable. Now when I click submit, Foreman will start rendering the report. It can take a long time based on the amount of data in your database, but once it's ready, it allows me to download the file. You don't have to refresh this page, it will automatically tell you when the report is ready. So I downloaded the resulting HTML, let me open that, and you can see it's basically a table of the data that I was interested in. If you want to have a different format or change the criteria, just go back, pick another format and submit again. It will render the same report, but the output format will be different. Okay. So now we'll talk about how to automate generating reports. So I already mentioned you can schedule rendering reporting to some specific time. So for example, you want to render a big report at midnight, but we don't have any UI capabilities for scheduling right now besides what we've seen in the form. So if you want to run the report every midnight, you need to automate it somehow yourself externally. To do that, the easiest thing you can do is use our API or CLI and put it into a cron job, for example. Hammer exposes a command report template. So if you look at the help, you see there's plenty of things you can do with the reports. One of them is generating them. That basically means it will generate the report, and the std out of this command will actually be the result of the report rendering. There's also a possibility to schedule the rendering, and then when it's scheduled, you get the ID or the link of the job which you should be checking, and once it's done you can download the report from there. But we'll play with the generate command in here a bit more. So as you can see in the help for that, you can specify the template you want to render either by ID or the name. So let's do that, and we'll generate a host status report, for example. So this is a representation of all the hosts. Oh, it's actually called host statuses, I think. Host status. Oh, let's see. Host statuses. Okay. So here we see the list of all the hosts that I have in this format instance and the numerical representation of the statuses they have. Similarly, like in the UI, you can customize other things such as report format. So if you are interested in, let's say, JSON, you can ask for a JSON output like this. So this is how you can easily render the report. With combination of sending this to an email address, it's easy to just put this command into a cron and receive report, let's say, at every midnight. All right, if I go back to this UI, you can see all of these templates are locked for editing. That basically means that these are the templates we ship with the installation, and changing them would basically mean that during every format upgrade you would lose your own changes. So while you can unlock the template, it's discouraged. And if you want to modify some existing template, you should first create a clone and edit the clone. So we'll demonstrate that on host last check-in report we have in here. This is a simple report which gives you the list of the hosts and information about when we've heard from them or about them last time. Let me actually render that in the HTML format so you can see that. So this is a simple list, and you see we have the last check-in information in here. There is also an IP address of the machine, but let's assume that you'd like to also get the MAC address into this report. So to do that, first create a clone of this template. Let's give it some more meaningful name, so with MAC address. Now if you scroll down, here is how the definition look like. So let's say we want to add a MAC address just after the IP address. So here we'll just add a new header and a new field called MAC address, and we load it from the host object, and we use the MAC property in here. So now I save the new version of this report template. You can see it's a separate object in here. It's not locked. It's this new clone, and I can generate that report template. Let's pick the HTML here and let's render it. Now we can see that the resulting report contains the MAC address column, and the values are in here as well. So if you want to write your own templates, the best thing is go over the examples that exist in the application. Typically the form is the same. You load the objects first, and then you iterate through the collection and add columns and values for each of such object. And to find out more about that, we actually provide an inline documentation. So if you go to the About page under Administer menu, there is a link to the templates DSL. So if you're interested in how to write the template or what all methods and attributes you can use, I highly recommend going through this documentation first. The basics are described in this help page, where the whole templating engine is explained. And then for the reference of all the methods you can call, for example, on our host managed object. Actually, you need to navigate to the right context. Here we have host managed. You can see that I use this MAC attribute of the host. If you go here, you will see also more details about what it actually represents. Okay, and that is all for today. Thanks for watching.